Hey guys, what's here? Welcome back to another Spectate gameplay. Today, first Spectate gameplay of Season 8. Well, it's pre-season, but still. We chose a doozy for the first one. Tristana Jungle, yes. Tristana Jungle. That's genuinely what we're watching today. And not just Tristana Jungle, but this is a Tristana Jungle game played in high Korean solo queue. This isn't some kind of flex queue rubbish played versus silver players. He's playing this versus, you know, you probably heard of this player, the enemy Malzahar, Faker. You may have heard of that guy. So yeah, this is genuinely Spirit. You guys might know Spirit as the Lulu jungle pioneer. He even picked out, he whipped it out in LCK last year. But yeah, he's playing Tristana jungle now, guys. So we're going to watch Spirit's gameplay here, and we're going to learn how to play Tristana Jungle. We're going to have some fun watching Tristana Jungle, because it's Tristana Jungle versus Faker, no less. And yeah, so first things first, I've watched this game through, because I've watched a few of his replays to really learn what he's doing and how he plays. This is a game where he really plays like a Tristana would play, like you would expect a Tristana to play. So Tristana is known for 2-item power spike, 3-item power spike, and then just scaling really hard into the late game. And Spirit plays Tristana quite like that. So even though this is jungle Tristana, it's still Tristana. So a lot of farming is going to be going on, playing towards the later on in the game. That means that there's less action in the early game, and if that bothers you, don't you worry, because at the end of this gameplay, I'm going to show you the first 10 minutes of a different game where he absolutely destroys the early game and wins in like 10 minutes. So I'll show you that one at the end of this one. So you can see Tristana's potential is not just a scaling champion or scaling jungler, but also as an early game jungler. So first things first, well, that's not the first thing. Second thing second, or even third things third. These are your runes, guys. Pretty standard rune page, very similar to what you'd run on like Xin Zhao. At least this is almost identical to what I would run on Xin personally. But yeah, let's get on with the gameplay now, guys. So this jungle route is something he does pretty much every single game. He does buff, Gromp. Tristana is much better at single target clearing, especially early on, because that's all she's got, really. I mean, yes, she has a bomb explosion, but it's mostly just auto attacks with her Q and machete attack speed. So she does this, and then oftentimes as well, she will do exactly what you're seeing now. Spirit will sneak into this first bush and either go for a standard gank like this one here, or a counter gank. Because the enemy jungler might be pathing like this as well, right? By doing the level 3 and then ganking top. Spirit's here to counter that gank. So, good first gank of the game. Gets a kill, can't really ask for much more, and sees Faker chilling in the mid lane. So he fancies this one as well. A lot of pingers are coming down here, so probably going to be uneventful. You also have to be careful of the enemy jungler, because when I saw that Tristana was versus Xin, I figured this would be like a really good game to show, because if Tristana can succeed versus Xin Zhao, then she can succeed versus anyone. Because Xin, if I were picking like a weird jungle pick, maybe an off-meta jungle pick or something which I wasn't sure how it works specifically early game, like I might get a little bit smacked about in the early game, the worst jungler for me to see would be Xin Zhao. I would not want to see Xin in any way, shape or form, because he is probably the best at punishing weak junglers, because he just runs at you and destroys you. Like, pretty scary stuff. Anyway, Faker's a little bit overextended. He gets the flash. That's good stuff. You got to be careful though. Xin was bot side. There he is. You're donezo here now, mate. Sayonara, Spirit. You're out of there. Goodbye. It's been fun. And that is there as well there, guys. That's what you want to do on Xin. You want to jump in on people, knock them up, and then press W when they're in the air, because then you don't miss your W. And I don't even know, is this Xin maxing his W? This Xin is maxing W, which is what I like to do as well. So if you saw my Xin gameplay, I talk about that, but just in case you haven't seen it, and if you want to pick Xin, which you should, because Xin is busted right now, then yeah, a little tip for you. So one of the big decisions you have to make as a jungler is whenever you respawn, whenever you come out of spawn, what is it that you're going to do? Where are you going to go? Do you gank? Do you farm? What's it going to be? Now, Spirit puts a lot of focus on ganking. So he's going to run straight into the mid lane here. He's going to ignore the fact that his jungle camps are respawning, and he's going to run straight at Faker and try and get a gank here. The cool thing about doing this, though, is that his topside jungle has just respawned, and we can tell it's going to be respawning around this time because it's the first thing, more or less like the first camps that he took, the first mini camps that were taken in this game, right, outside of the buffs. So he knows around this time they'll be respawning, so what he can do is he can just chill out, and then, because his bot side buff is respawning first as well, it's kind of timed it perfectly here, where he can take his topside jungle, Wolves and Gromp, and then path down, and then take the chickens that are literally just respawn now as well, and then go into the red buff, and then even go look, maybe look for a gank there, or maybe take his Krugs as well. Like, it's perfect. This is like a ridiculously efficient jungle path here for getting minions, which I think is, this is what separates like really good junglers from good junglers. Is, I don't know whether he did this on purpose or not, like whether he had like the timers of his camps like in his head, but I would say there's probably a high chance that he did. So he would know that, okay, my top side's respawning, I can do a really nice path here, so I'll just chill. Like, he could have easily gone to his Krugs when he came out of spawn there and just taken them straight away, but instead he's put himself into like a lot of foresight went into this one, and damn, that's really efficient right there. Anyway, so he's level 6 right now, sneaking in a bit like he did for his first gank. He's positioned here. If the enemy team is still around, he can maybe get a gank going. He knows Zin is probably around bot side as well. He just saw him bot side a little while ago, and it would make sense that he would be here, which he is. So he could have maybe been a bit more patient and stayed there, honestly. But sometimes it's a bit risky to overstay. Wait. Okay, they probably could have killed Ez there as well. Sometimes it's a bit risky to overstay waiting for the enemy jungler, because the enemy jungler might not show. But because he did show, if enemy jungler shows bot side, you can go top side and take his jungle. Always do this, guys. If the enemy jungler ganks top or they gank bot, make sure that you're going on the other side of the map and punishing them by taking their jungle camps, or getting a gank on the other side of the map as well. You want to punish them for doing something. Don't let them do stuff for free. And something that's a little bit, like, he could just take his that red buff and then go and gank top. What we're going to see is something absolutely not recommended here, which is trying to 1v1 a Zin in melee range. So that one doesn't really work out, but he does have his whole team collapsing here, and Zin has a massive shutdown because he was 4-0 at that point, so a massive shutdown there on Zin, focusing the faker. Sounds like a good strategy to me. Faker goes down, the snipe from downtown as well, holy shit. Ez from spawn gets that snipe there onto Faker. And you know what? I questioned Spirit's choice there to fight the Zin. That was all a bait. Good bait, mate. You are the master baiter. Beautiful stuff. So, talking a little bit about item builds here. I know I haven't shown this before, but he does... This game, he's going for Warrior Enchant, and then he'll get an attack speed item straight after. Now, he played this game a few days ago, which is... He's played a lot more games since then. He's played like 60 games or something in just his preseason of Tristana Jungle. But what he tends to do more, like I would say 9 times out of 10, what you see from Spirit is he will rush Red Smite into Blood Razor, so the attack speed item, then get a BF sword, and then go Static Shiv or some other attack speed item, and then finish the Infinity Edge. So that's the build he goes almost all of the time. This game he's mixing it up a little bit, and he's going for the Warrior Enchant first item. But I would say, generally speaking, that's not what Spirit does. Is Spirit even going to get an assist on this kill here? His jump's going to be coming back up soon. Alright. There we go. He gets the assist. He has to put in the work to get that one. So he deserved it. There's actually 3 AD carries in this game. Ez, Misfortune, and Tristana. This Kassadin could be playing Corki as well, then you'd have 4 AD carries. Who could be in the top lane as an AD carry though? Are there any, like Quinn, I guess, maybe? Just Quinn count. Lucian top, there you go. If Huni were in this game, we could have the potential for 5 AD carries in this game. Neat. Alright, again, farming. If you guys find that kind of playstyle boring, well, maybe Tristana Jungle isn't for you, but you can also just stay to the end of the game. Oh my goodness. You got to get out of there, mate. He's out. Notice how he flashes first and then jumps, because your jump has a small animation during which you can still get hit. So he probably would have died there if he tried to jump away. But he's out of this fight. And the red team's going to come out on top because Mazhar's very good at taking down the front line. But Kassadin's very good at mopping up kills as well. And the enemy team is kind of low here. So he looks like he's going to swing by for some retaliation right there. Okay, Faker just instantly cancelled his Fortune's ultimate. Okay, rewind that. I'm not going to rewind because sometimes when I rewind, the spectate crashes. So I don't really want to rewind there. But rewind that shit and look at that. Faker legit just insta-cancel his Fortune ulti. I was like sitting there thinking, I was like, did that actually just happen? I'm pretty sure he just did that. That's why he's Faker, by the way. That is a literal instant cancel from Faker. And I'm sure because, you know, he's God, that he intended it and it wasn't just a random thing. But holy crap. Faker, buddy. Alright. Good shit. But yeah, like I was saying before, if you want to see like a more action-packed, bloodthirsty game, stay towards the end of the video, and you can see the second game where he does just pop off in the early. So let's get forward here. Boring, boring, boring. Oh yeah, something else to note as well. Boot choices for Tristana. Every single game he goes Ninja Tabby. He never not gets Ninja Tabby. I find that a bit surprising because Berserker Greaves you'd think would be really good on Tristana. And obviously traditionally it is, but in the jungle, no. In the jungle he just goes Ninja Tabby every single game. Alright, now if he wants to go for this play, it's going to be really risky. That is a flash engage from Faker. I'm not sure if he wanted to do that one. Knocks him back into the team. Gets the reset so he can jump away from Xin as well. He's dead. That's the power of Xin. If you have your third Q primed, then you can instantly flash on an enemy target, and your first auto attack is going to knock them up straight away. And it catches the enemy team by surprise, it catches the Spirit by surprise, and he dies in one combo. It's another good Xin technique right there. All in all though, this is so far it's a 3 for 3, but it looks like it's probably going to turn into a few more deaths going down here. At least Orange should die. Maybe even Tarek, mate. You're overstaying this one. Yeah, I think Tarek is dead as well here, you know. Cheeky. Yeah, Tarek is donezo. If I were that Xin, I would have jumped in on Kassadin right there. Probably would have been a bad idea, and that's why this guy's challenger and I'm challenged. But yeah. Crazy. Alright, cool. So that actually worked out pretty well for Spirit's team right there. Now Spirit's back off farming. He will probably leave this blue buff for Kassadin. In Korea, if you don't give your blue buff over to your mid laner goes AFK, so I don't think he wants that. I can't read Korean, the Korean alphabet, so I have no idea. Well, plus my computer can't read it. It's just barcodes here. So I don't know if this Kassadin is a pro player or anything either, but I mean, he's playing with obviously pretty good players. I mean, Faker's in the bloody game, so I think this guy can trust his mid laner and give him the blue. Alright, level 10 from Tristana here is the highest level out of the two junglers. Pretty high level in general, honestly, and like I said, focusing on farming a lot. He's got 87 CS, pretty decent farm. If Ez didn't have such ridiculous farm, it would look even more impressive. But still, gotta be careful of the Xin. Probably the scariest thing that Tristana is going to come up against this game is that Xin Zhao, but he's dead, so now you can go back in. Oh, there's Faker though, be careful of that as well. That could be a bit scary. Nice, so now Spirit has a positive score. I'm sure that's all he cares about. Everyone knows positive score means you win the game. Because even if you lose, you can still complain about Elo Hell when you do lose. Make a Reddit thread about it, complain to your mates at school. How it's impossible to climb. You smashed every game. As long as you have a positive KDA, then you can say that stuff. So they went for the Rift Herald here because they just won a team fight in that mid lane. So they had the numbers advantage. You've got to get something out of winning team fights. So don't just win the team fight and then like recall or go back to farming or anything like that. Try and get an objective if you can out of it. They didn't go for the mid lane there because Faker was still alive. So it's kind of hard to push towers down with Faker's wave clear, with Mazhar's wave clear. But you can get the Rift Herald uncontested there. So, and Rift Herald basically means a tower, honestly. Like, as far as it goes, the value of Rift, in my eyes at least, I value Rift Herald very similarly to a tower, because you can use Rift Herald to get a tower 9 times out of 10. So we'll see how he uses it. To be fair, sometimes you get even more. Wow, he's not giving the red buff over to... That's questionable, because this Ez is popping off, but okay, fair enough. Alright, he's gone for Phantom Dancer as his attack speed item. He rarely does this, but to be honest, this might be an adaptation versus the Xin, because Xin is just like his worst nightmare this game. Xin is just in this guy's face all the time, and having that Phantom Dancer makes him a lot easier to deal with. But we just saw Xin flanking here as well, so we've got to be a bit careful there. Finally breaking that mid lane, which is nice, but his team's in control. It's kind of funny that they hadn't taken that yet. Still, farm. Let's keep going, boys. At least now he's not going to his walls. He's actually going to farm the enemy jungle. So that's cool. Can't imagine he'll take this from Ez. Okay, he does take it from Ez. in response, he gets the quartet of question mark pings. Oh dear. To be fair, I'd be a bit salty if I were Ez there. But then again, Ez has Frozen Fist and Mirror Mana, so... Alright, here comes a team fight. Gotta be careful of positioning. Okay, wait. Okay, there's not a team fight. You gotta be careful of positioning though. When you're off by yourself flanking on a carry like this. Oh, here comes the Rift Herald. Okay. Alright, now this is an interesting one because the whole enemy team is alive here. So you think maybe this one will be hard to get a tower with. But all of Spirit's team is here. Ashe has gone into base as well. So maybe they can. And Tristana is very good at taking towers here. So forcing the Taric ultimate out, that's great. That means these guys are going to have to back off now. This tower is free. But I would be surprised if they can get more than this. Tristana is a really, really powerful turret slaying machine. So if they did want to go for some more pushes, then they have a very good team to do that with Tristana. Anyway, let's get forward here now. Probably just going to be farming his jungle. Donating that blue over. Yep, he did donate that over. I know he's got a blue buff, but that's still the other blue buff on him. So at this point, what Spirit and his team want to do here is they want to start what's it called? Prepping vision around Baron, so denying vision, so getting these pink wards down. You want to stick a pink ward in the Baron pit, you want to stick one around as well, so that the enemy, just really denying that vision from the enemy team, so that they can't have vision around the Baron, because then you can prep a Baron play. And honestly, these guys will take Baron ridiculously fast, because Ez plus Tristana, and even Kassadin will be really good at doing this too, to be honest, but they should take this down really, really, really quickly. So they just want to deny vision around the Baron area. And then they should be in a good spot to just take it without the enemy team really having too much control over it. Or they can go for a team fight. And if they get a pick, then this serves the same purpose really as well. So they lose their Kassadin, who is their strongest member here. They've got to be careful, but they already got a pick onto the Ashe. So it's still a 4v4. Ornn wasn't in here till way too late. Tristana picks up the cheeky little side kill there on the Taric. And even though they lose the Kassadin, they still get a lot out of it. I mean, this Misfortune ultimate with the Black Cleaver as well as a support, your ultimate does a lot of damage, but more importantly, you have a massive armor shred, AoE armor shred on that ulti. And these picks here, these kills are going to turn into Baron. So we'll fast forward this. Like, you have to get Baron at this point. I mean, you've killed basically everyone on the enemy team. No one's around to really stop this, especially once you kill the enemy jungler. This thing's going down. So they'll take this. I don't think Ornn can stop this one. Wait, does he not have smite? He doesn't have smite. Okay, holy shit. They nearly lost it, but they didn't. They pop Ashe before the Taric ulti comes down. They're just going to get loads of mop-up kills here. This game's going out of control right now. Out of control. Spiraling way in a direction the Faker does not want this to go. Alright, so when you've got Baron, what you want to do is set up a 4-1. If you have a top lane that has teleport, setting this up is usually the best strategy for Baron. So that means you have 4 people in one lane, 1 person in another lane. So Poppy will most likely go and push either top or bot. It'll probably be bot lane, but either top or bot, it doesn't really matter. And then you have the rest of the team grouped as 4 in either probably mid lane or the lane that, you know, whatever one that Poppy isn't in. And you just want to use this Baron buff. If you have, oh gosh, if you have Baron, then if you have minions around the Baron buff, they get empowered, right? So it makes a lot of sense to stick someone to split push, because then you get something like this going, which is where Poppy with the Baron empowers these minions here. So these guys are now going to be pushing really hard. And then you've got 4 people in another lane who are also going to be pushing really hard. So you're just like spreading the like value of your Baron buff if you do this. And it means as well, if a fight really happens and Spirit and his team need Poppy's help, she can just teleport into the fight. Gosh, Zin is so busted. Poppy can just teleport into the fight. The 420 crit. Beautiful. And yeah. Alright. They probably won't need to do anything funky this game though for this Baron play. I mean, Poppy can TP in if she needs to, but she can also just fight. She looks like she's going for the TP here. Not sure they need to. She's going to get locked under the tower here. I think she might not be long for this world, you know. Spirit is really low here as well, so I don't think they want to go for this one. This would be the red team's best chance at winning a fight if they can chase, but I don't really think they have chase potential. Ashe is dead. So is the Ez. Honestly, that's fine. I think trading that Ashe for an Ez is cool. Alright, so picking up the red buff here. And probably going to a recall. There's not really much that he can do, that Spirit can do right now. He can't exactly push any lanes down with his whole team dead. But Tristana is very good at killing towers. So you might even see... I mean, his team seems to be pretty insistent on fighting. But if they just go for the towers, that would be a good strat as well. Because, I mean, she does them really, really quickly. Alright, more farming. Let's get through this. Mid lane and top lane are the two lanes that these guys want to inhabit now. There's no point going bot lane anymore, really. That lane is going to be pushing by itself. So if you stick people in the lanes that don't have the inhib down, then you're going to have every single one of these lanes pushing now. So Poppy will be able to push top. His team will be able to push mid. And bot will be pushing because that's where the super minions are. So this puts a lot of pressure on the enemy team to have to defend 3 minion waves here. Or 3 lanes here, I should say. And that's difficult to do. Especially when you're losing. Alright, Ashar's already gone down. Here comes your own ultimate as well. Catches Kassadin, but that's not really a thing, honestly. You don't really catch Kassadin. Ez is from the top side here as well. That's a really good catch onto the Poppy. But that is also Taric ultimate down. And Taric ultimate means quite a lot. So we'll see. What will most likely happen here, because there's still a minion wave right here, is Spirit's probably going to look to push. I mean, he could try and like get some kills here, but it'll be a little bit greedy. And he can just take this tower really quickly. I mean, look at this. He pops the bomb on it, presses Q. This thing does not last very long. So instead of just going for the deathmatch style kills there, just go for the objectives. And that's really good. Neat. I mean, there's no real reason to rush this game. You don't need to rush things because you can just chill. Item build wise, by the way, obviously you just Tristana at this point, so just buy Tristana items. So the crit attack speed items, Infinity Edge, pretty standard stuff. And now there's only 1 lane left in the game that these guys want to be pushing down. So that's where they're going to go. Unable to download spectator data, the game will now exit. Well, you know what that means, guys? That means that Spirit was winning so hard it crashed the game. I think we all know how this one was going to go. Sorry we couldn't see the end of it, but I think we all know how this one was going to end up. And I've watched it before, so let me tell you, yes, that is how it ends up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a different game, just really quickly, the beginning of a different game, so you can see how Tristana Jungle can work with early pressure and how she can, you can use Tristana Jungle to snowball a game right from the get-go. Alright guys, this is a game where he pops off in the early, so we're going to skip through the early and just show you how you can use Tristana to be a machine. He's not playing versus any kind of like weak team here. You might recognize Ignar, EU hero from Misfits, and also Cuvée on the enemy team, the enemy top laner, Cuvée. Even though he's just died, he's the reigning world champion in top lane. So there you go, some pretty good people here. Oh, Shad is struggling. How do you manage to do that, Shad? I don't know. Anyway, so jungle path is the same as last game. Like I said, he does this quite frequently, where he does the camps and the gromp, and then he'll go into the top side for this like first bush or brush gank. He knows that Jarvan probably doesn't have summoners, but also you can set up for a counter gank in this position, like I mentioned last game, because Graves might be pathing here as well. So he can just chill and wait for Graves, as we saw. Graves actually did just show there, but he's going to go for the dive instead because this guy's pretty free. So gets the Jarmander, he's dead. Shad, you're looking very fashionable there, mate. And then This Graves is probably not long for this world either, but he might be able to do something here. I mean, you can't really just straight up tower dive this Graves. I don't think. Anyway, this Gangplank. Oh my goodness, that was close. Alright, one for one? Maybe? Okay, that was close, but 1 for 1. Good stuff. Alright, boom, 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 boom. And boom goes the Rift Scuttle, as they say, as the famous saying goes. Putting a cheeky wall down on the enemy chickens. Going back to farming a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Farming. Boom, 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 boom. Not recalling. Play happened in mid lane. Here we go. So this Grace was on about the same health as Tristana here when he jumped in. And that was close, but Tristana actually comes out on top. Now I wouldn't say that Tristana is stronger than Grace in the early game. I mean, that was close, and Tristana does have double buffs here, but you can still see, even against these really strong early game champions, like Grace is a really good early game jungler. She's still, I mean, it's not like she's a complete pushover or anything like that, you know. Anyway, she's going to recall here. First back, what did she buy here? She bought full out purchased Blood Razor and Red Smite. Alright. Good stuff. Boom, 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 farming. You can see Caston getting a little bit chased down there. So he's level 6 at this stage, which is a pretty fast time to get level 6 at 6 minutes, honestly. But here we go. So he's going to jump in onto Graves. I'm not sure if he can do anything here, but he might try. Get a bit cheeky maybe on the Malzahar. No? Alright, never mind. Go. Oh, he's invading. Alright, that's cool. Go invade. You know this is just respawn because your red buff is just respawned as well. Here he goes. That's 1. Boom. That's 2. Look at him. Okay, is that 3? That's 3. Alright, beautiful stuff. And you can see already, I mean, this Tristana, 4-0 and 2 at 7 minutes. I don't know, there's not much to say. It's just genuinely is actually strong. Like, it's generally strong in the early game. It's not a pushover by any means. Alright, more farming. Boom, 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 boom. I'll probably just end the replay soon here, I think, because I just want to show you how she works like in the early game. And this is kind of still the early game, so keeping your eyes peeled on the lanes in case there's any free kills. Cassadin gets him low, leaves it for Spirit for the last hit. He can't get it. But it's the thought that counts, Cassadin. Thanks for that, mate. Now, some of you may be saying, like, oh, this isn't Spirit being strong, it's just his laners are leaving him free kills. Well, if that's the case, then he wouldn't be stuck in bronze. And secondly, the only reason Jarvan was really that low in the first place is because he just killed Gangplank. So it's not like his team's just popping off like nobody's business, you know. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else here I want to show you? I can't really remember. I don't think there's... Not much. There are a few skirmishes, but not really anything specific happens. So we'll skip towards the end of this game here. Just show you how it ends. So he's 4-0-5 at this point. Just popping off, as you do. Snowballing really hard. This is, I told you, the skirmishes into Blood Razor, BF Sword, Static Shiv. That's the build he went for this game. Jumps in, goes crazy, and they surrender. So, hope you guys found this... Spirits Tristana interesting. Hopefully you learned some things about how to play it as well. This was a 15-minute game, so yeah, popped off pretty hard here. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments and stuff about this, because I'm still trying to find precisely how you guys like these spectator things. And listen, it's your opinion is the most important thing, because if you guys don't like the videos, I gotta change that shit. So do like the videos. Side note, Spirit finished with the highest farm in the game, this game. So not only was he popping off as a jungler, he had like ridiculously high farm. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Goodbye from me. Goodbye from Shadwell. I don't know what he's done with his coat, but whatever. That's just the new fashion nowadays, I guess, with dogs. I don't know. So yeah, take a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to me for more games content. Have a good one, guys. And I will see you in my next.